I think all South Africans would agree that crime is a massive problem in South Africa. And as the statistics that the Minister of the Police announced a few days ago shows, there has been an upwards trend across many violent crime categories in South Africa. And so we believe that to tackle this problem doesn't just help ranting about this on social media. So we started tackling this problem from the side of the way crime is reported, and you request emergency assistance in South Africa is still stuck in a time from many decades back, where you have to pick up the phone, you have to dial in, then you probably have to wait to be assigned to an operator, then you have to explain where you are, what the nature of your incident is, then they have to still locate you on the map, and sometimes they can't actually find your location, and that takes more time, and then ultimately all that has to be communicated to officers on the ground over the air, like spelling out the street name again, and there may or may not be a GPS in the car. So all of this is really archaic in an era when we have people working on self-driving cars and Elon Musk is trying to put people on Mars. And so we decided to start tackling the problem from the perspective of a citizen trying to report crime. What would we want? And so we decided to write an app where at the push of a button, you open up the app, you hold that button, your GPS coordinates go through to our command center, they can see exactly where you are, who you are, as well as what the broad nature of your emergency is. We can then contact you via a messaging channel that's built into the app. We'll give you a call back, and as soon as we have sufficient details, we can work with the nearest emergency responders in your area to get you the help as quickly as you need, as well as providing ongoing feedback during your incident to give you that comfort, so that it doesn't feel like you just lobbed something into a giant black hole.
Yes. This app is going to make it easier for people to report problems that they have. Are there enough personnel on the ground to help deal with all these requests that are going to be coming through the app?
On our side, we will grow our infrastructure as quickly as our users grow. A bigger challenge is that many of South African governmental emergency agencies are already severely resource constrained. The police are a very visible example of this, but having sitting in on many incidents every day, popping into our command center and just listening to incidents being resolved, I can tell you there is also a massive issue with government ambulances. We don't have enough of them. The prioritization is sometimes a little bit out of whack, so some people in real emergency often wait way too long. Same with traffic services when there's a bad accident. So these resource allocations, that's something that Namola can't easily fix. But because we're the kind of startup people who, when there's a challenge, that is just cause for sometimes going back to the drawing board and figuring out how can we tackle this head on. What we realized was that many communities are already putting structures in place to, from inside the community, support the community and to patrol the streets, bring in community-funded armed response, etc. So we developed software called Namola Watch, which will allow neighborhood watches and community police forums to come on board with Namola, so that incidents in their area can go to the vehicles that are patrolling the streets, and they can support the emergency response while the government responders are on their way.